please keep standing. I hope. This is Canada National Anthem. Thank you. Please have a seat. Come on, put your hands together. I was hoping to hear Ghana National Anthem this afternoon for the World Cup. For some reason, we couldn't make it. I know Canadian National Anthem was only played once in World Cup. That was 1986. 4 years from today, we'll go to World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana Diaspora Youth Forum, Toronto. I keep asking myself, what's the meaning of diaspora? I think I have a lot of questions for my panels and the Deputy Affairs Office. I think I have a lot of questions for her. But before we start everything, let me call Nana Anane to come. He's from Ghana Canadian Association of Ontario, that's GCAO. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for him.
Hello, good afternoon. To our distinguished guest, to our High Ghana Consulate, Mr. Thomas Seshi, headed to our Ghana Union President, Mr. Emmanuel Dodu, our dynamic young adults, friends of Ghana, I welcome you to our Diaspora Youth Forum. The GCO Youth Wing is committed actively raising the quality of Ghanaians, especially young adults, in Toronto. Our task is to make it possible that we have healthy discussions, activities, mentorship, and of course, fun. This year, our theme is the diaspora, or has been the diaspora youth, created energy and an innovation of Ghana's development. Sorry about this. Amongst us, we have two distinguished guests from Ghana. Nadia Dongo Musa, she was appointed Deputy Director of the Office of the President in February 2017. Sorry. Nadia has a Bachelor of Arts degree from Laurentian University, which is down the street, Sudbury, Ontario. She's a highly dedicated and has a deep passion for community engagement and involvement. She's a strong advocate for the sports, educational, and wellness programs for the youth, adults, and seniors. She was a public relations officer of the Northern Ghana Cultural Group in Toronto and has organized fundraising support initiatives for neglected seniors for the northern community in Ghana. She has organized, coordinated other fundraising initiatives such as AIDS Canada and multiple sclerosis, MS, walkathon in Caledon, Ontario. With such a remarkable track record and diligence, hard work, competence, and achieve excellence in organizing programs, one can only be assured that she will work hard to exceed all expectations in her role as the Deputy Director of Diaspora Affairs. And we have Jake Obey Bediako. He was appointed Youth Ambassador for Diaspora Affairs in February 2018. He's responsible for championing diaspora youth engagement initiatives in the diaspora. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in History from Columbia University, a Master's in Philosophy in African Studies from the University of Cambridge, and Graduate Diploma of Law from BPP University. Jake is passionate about creativity, community, and promotion youth involvement in the sphere of society. Through his experience in research and African policy development at the United Nations at African-focused student recruitment at Columbia University Office of Undergraduate Admissions, Jake has demonstrated his zeal to work for the benefit of Ghana. Together, Nadia Musa, Jake Bediako, Oben Bediako, sorry, the Diaspora Affairs Office has been committed to working as a team to meet their goals, objectives, ensuring that diaspora becomes an important and integral part of Ghana's economic development. Many thanks to the government of Ghana, especially the Office of the Diaspora Affairs, for the initiative in today's event. The enthusiasm for collaboration between Ghana and the Canadian diaspora illustrates its willingness to impact lives across the world. Thank you, and enjoy the forum.
One, two, yes. Put your hands together for him once again. Thank you very much. We're going to have a speech by the Diaspora Affairs Office, Nadia Adongo Musa, Deputy Director, Diaspora Affairs Office of the President. Ladies and gentlemen, before she comes, I think we met 10 years ago at the same hotel when I hosted Nana Addo at the North Hall. It was beautiful. That was, the first question I asked Nana was, what are you going to be doing for the youth? That was my question. And Nadia, besides everything Nana Anani said about Nadia, about all the bachelor's degrees, all the certificates, the most important thing is she has a good heart. Such a beautiful woman. And above all, respect. She respects anybody, no matter where you come from, the color, gender, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nadia Adongo Musa.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Douglas, for such wonderful words about me, and to Nana as well. Whenever there's a program in Toronto, I take it very personal. I take it very personal because Toronto is home to me. Toronto has given me so much, and Toronto has given my family so much that I have to make sure that when things are happening in Toronto, you get the best out of it. As Douglas said, yes, 10 years ago, just minding my own business, MPP Fauna Group organized a fundraising event when our now president was a candidate. And at the North Hall, I was given a forum to speak. And when I went on that podium, what I said to the president was that when you become a president, I come from the northern part of Ghana, and when you become a president, what are you going to do to bridge the gap between the North and the South? I am tired of seeing my cousins, family, relatives always coming to the South because things are not being given to them. We were not asked to be born at a place where things are not really fertile, and the president really took that high. At the end of my speech, he asked of me. I went to Ghana, met with him, and that's why we started working together. And when he became the president, he remembered that. I was minding my own business, sent a message, congratulating him on the good job that he's done. I didn't give up, though. I came back and I was still helping MPP. Family is MPP, so I have no choice. I had to. It's not about politics here, but I had to. So when I was just giving my message, I know you and Dr. Baumia will do very well. I'm going back to Canada tomorrow. He called me and said, listen, you remember that conversation we had in Toronto? You want to help your people, so I want you to come back home and help me. And that is where I am today, by holding my position. And as I say, and I continue to say to the youth, every time you get the opportunity to have a podium, speak from your heart and believe in what you are saying and work towards it. The Office of Diaspora Affairs is the first of its kind. The president saw the initiatives, the positive things in the diaspora and decided that he was going to create an office put there where our affairs will be very personal to him. Our office reports directly to the Chief of Staff, and it goes to the President. We get to share ideas with him on what we think will work for Ghana. And I think that such forum that we organize for youth, you should be able to pour your hearts out. If there are challenges that you think things are not happening at home, Jake is here. He's the ambassador. Hold on to him tight. Some of us are there to, support him on things that he needs to do to make sure that the youth are given the opportunity in Ghana. At the moment, our current government sees so much in the youth that we have the National Innovative Entrepreneur Program, where money is given to youth to start up businesses. That has never been done. Recently, the same ministry, Minister of Business Development, is starting a pitch program where young adults from 20 to 35 will be pitching with their, creativity ideas of businesses and will be giving money and will be supporting throughout to make sure that it becomes successful. Again, the president has set up NAPCO because he sees all the unemployment that is going on in our country, that NAPCO allows our youth to have 3 years working experience while being paid. At the end of that 3 years, the goal is for you to have a working experience to be able to move on and stand on your own. So these are all the good things that the government is doing. Has given you a youth ambassador to make sure that he rallies with you, listens to your creativities, your innovative ideas, and bring it back to Ghana and help. I encourage all of you to be part of the movement in Ghana now. Ghana, Africa, the whole world has grown. Africa is now the new baby. So please take opportunity of it and be part of it. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. I would like to also thank the organizers, GCAO Youth Wings, MPP Canada branch, all the supporters, our lady, she's not here, Juliet, who is not a Ghanaian, but Ghanaian at heart, decided to do all these things for us for free, on her own will, for us to be able to have a youth forum. So I would like to thank all of you on behalf of my president, our president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, for giving us the platform to share with you what we have. Later on, we'll be having that conversation when we sit on the panel. Thank you very much.
Yes. Such a beautiful words. Listen, you put your hands together for Jake or Ben Bediakon.
Hi, everyone. Very, very good afternoon. Very nice to see all of you here. Thank you all for coming. I know everyone's question is, who is he? Where is he coming from? Like, we've never met him. Well, it's my first time in Toronto, so that's why you've never met me. Yeah, but I'm here because 4 months ago, I managed to convince the president that youth in the diaspora are important, and he needs to listen to us, and there is a role that we are going to play in Ghana's development. So, for me, I'm a proud millennial. I tell everyone this. Well, where are my millennials? Please raise your hands. Yes, thank you. You are going to change the world. Thank you. On this journey with you guys. So, yeah, basically, I said we are going to need his support to fill rooms like this and then fill up Ghana with creativity and all the insights and skills and expertise that we need to actually move the country forward. We are a generation that is the first generation, really, a generation of 20 years, by the way, where we are the first generation that has seen a completely stable Ghana in a very, very, very long time. And we are also a generation that has unlimited choice and options. So that puts us in a very, very interesting position where we can choose to not be Ghanaian. A lot of us here have the option, have other identities that we can claim, but we add our Ghanaianness, and that's why we are here. That's why so many of us are wearing what we are wearing. We're wearing these badges. We are excited about our Ghanaianness. And I think this is the time to rally around that and see what we can actually do to bring ourselves together and move Ghana forward in the direction we want. And so we need to harness that fire in us and that passion, and that is what we are here to do today. We're here to network, we're here to dialogue, and we're here to ultimately be the trailblazers in Africa, because we've done it before with independence. We're the first African country to gain independence. Now we're going to be the first African country to have its youth spearheading the major, major change and developments and changing the global narrative of Africa. So please, join me on this journey. I know so many people here are doing amazing things. I want to hear all about it, and I also want to share my story along the line when we sit on the panel, and it's going to be an amazing time. Thank you so very much.
I'm not going to waste much time. I'm just going to call on our panelists to come on board so that we can have a real dialogue and a real conversation about the purpose of this initiative that we are looking about. Many of you guys are sitting here and you have tons and tons of ideas and creativities and things that's probably already in place but need somebody to help you bring that together and make it happen in our country of Ghana. And so, brethren, come with all of your questions, come with your ideas, come with whatever it is that you can see help build not just Ghana, but Canada as well. Because we are here to stay, but we are not forgetting where we have come from. That is why we have the term Sankofa, and meaning we need to turn back and see what is behind us and help build it, but also sustain what we have here as well. And so I'm going to call on our panelists. I'll call on Nadia, Brother Jake, Sister Vivian, okay? Brother Gabriel. I will also call on our very own president to come on the podium. You can sit wherever you would like. I would also like to call on our very own consulate to come on the podium as well, because you are the one that is bridging the gap for us here, holding the position in Ottawa. And so if we have any concerns, we will drive that 4 hours and meet you there. So we need to hold you accountable here. Please have your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, please give our panelists a round of applause. So as the moderator, before we have the audience and guests ask their questions, I'm going to be asking key questions that maybe you can piggyback from, and maybe some of your questions is going to be answered. And so we want to keep this very nice, smooth, and short and straight to the point. And so I will ask if everyone can just be precise. If you like, if you need someone to give you a pen and paper, write your questions down. It'll make it much easier to articulate what exactly you would like to say. So my first question to the panelists, and this will go to the Diaspora initiative. What exactly, or how exactly does the government of Ghana plan to support the young people here in Toronto to transition their business, their ideas, their creativities from here to Ghana as smooth and as possible and successful?
Hello? Yes. So that's a very great question, and that's a question that we get all the time, because one key thing with young people across the board in Ghana, Ghanaians in the diaspora, is what are the business prospects? What can we do? What are the opportunities? And I think the government has done a lot in terms of harnessing this on the ground. So we have the NEIP that Nadia spoke about in her speech, the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. And what that does is it actually it's supposed to provide funding and consulting and support for young people looking to do business in Ghana. So amazing. It's actually an amazing initiative. When I found out about it, I was quite blown away, because you literally can go to the NEIP with your business plan, and there's a consultant on site to look through it, give you insight into how it's going to translate to Ghana, what you need to do away with, what you need to maybe scale up, what you need to scale back on. So that's one amazing way that the government is supporting young people's businesses. And it's not only just lip service to it, because there's also, through the Ministry of Business Development, the presidential pitch thing that we are going to be starting next week, I think it is, or at the beginning of next month, yes, 6th of July, which young people from the ages of 20 to 35 are going to be pitching to a panel, and basically the winners receive money from the seed capital from venture capitalists and stuff to invest in their businesses. So there is a lot of support on the ground, and through the Diaspora Office, you get to participate in that as Ghanaians, sending business plans in, coming to discuss. And beyond all of that, even if you don't want to get that deeply involved with the government agency, we have, coming through our office, we have a lot of contacts across the board who we can direct you to in terms of specific things, because sometimes people don't have everything that they need. You just need to be able to locate someone on the ground to help them. So that's what our office exists to do.
And so how would the young people here find the right person to talk to? Because after today, you guys are gone. And so it's one thing to say that there's all these initiatives, there's these programs that's on set and ready to go, but who do we contact directly?
Okay, so did anyone get a magazine? Okay, so if you flip to the back, that's all the contact information for our office. And our office we are reachable. We are very, very reachable. Some people here will testify to that.
Just like Jake said, our office is an office that is set up for you. And it's an office that we see that you come to Ghana, you have very limited time to stay. So when you get to the office, we make sure that your things are being prioritized. I have certain people in the room. There's a gentleman over there that came from London, Ontario. He was in our office with his creativity business idea, and we told him, listen, it's such a good idea, do not give up on it. But there might be some challenges. Yes, just like when we first came to Canada, it was tough, but we stick with it because we knew that this was our new home. So when you are coming to Ghana with your unique business plan, there might be some things that tries to pull you, but once you reach our office and we try to help you, connect you, you will come back with a positive message. I can guarantee you on that, because the office is set up for you and to make sure that your creativity and all the things that you want to bring to help Ghana develop doesn't go wasted. And that's why the office was set up.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to... Maybe the Consulate General will say something. Sure. Sure.
Thank you very much. We are here to receive information for the government. So any type of information, quite apart from coming from the youth or any other group, we are always there for you. Yours is just to come, and we will link you to Accra. If you want us to link you to our sister Nadia's office, we will do that. If it is the ambassador, the youth ambassador's office, we have all those contacts. And that's how I work. Therefore, anytime you have anything, either personal or the concern of everybody here in Canada, if you pass through the DCEO, they will always link up with me, and I will get you linked up with Accra. That is very important for you, so that you can always get your information across. That's very, very key. If your information doesn't go across, then no decision can be made on your behalf. So we are there for you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Anyway, if all else fails, you can reach out to me.
Yes, indeed. This isn't exactly why the GCAO was created, so that we, within the Canadian diaspora, can connect very closely to the Ghanaian government and stakeholders. And so if there is anyone that has questions, concerns, thoughts, views, or any ideas, please reach out to any of the young people here. Nana K is here, Gabe is here, Vivian is here, and our president is also here. And we are here to support and bring in your ideas to the forefront. And so my next question is for Vivian. You are a young woman who is in the healthcare field as a nurse, and you actually started your own organization called OWN. And when the flood that happened a couple of years ago and the fire that exploded at the gas station that consumed many lives, you took it upon yourselves with other young people here in Toronto to take your kind heart and your healthcare ideas to Ghana and support. What were some of your challenges in bringing what you wanted to do to best benefit the country in Ghana?
Okay, just exactly what you said. I think we were focusing more on the environmental aspect, and it had to do with what we take for granted over here. What we take for granted over here. The biggest challenge I faced was...
Bring the microphone to your mouth.
The biggest challenge I faced was financial, like wrong information. So, for example, someone would say, over here it's different. They would tell you this is how it's gonna work when you come, until you touch down, the information changes. And I think before we got there, the office of the Diaspora Office was not in. So there was no connection in connecting with anybody from the government to have that access. So here I was dealing with Zoom Lion, I believe. And I was, they had given me a price that wasn't working. And here I am with my Canadian self. This is not how we work, and I want to talk to someone. But, it's difficult because you don't speak the same language as them. You don't live there. They know that you don't live there. People try to find ways to get the best out of you. So until you know somebody like the office, you really have no idea what you're walking into. So definitely I've already seen some changes as to the GCAO, the youth team. The support is enormous. So, yeah.
And so, Brother Prince, can you answer how such an incident that happened some years back, how this government is ensuring that the information that is set out is actually correct and accurate, and that they're actually living up to what they're saying and doing?
Okay, thank you. So my name is Prince Hachreko. I'm a senior business analyst working for TD Bank Group, and I'm a field of innovation and helping champion how to bring change into the life of our customers. Okay, having said that, let me go back to the question. So the government is working to help the Ghanaian people. That is the mandate the Ghanaian people gave it to the government. And the government is creating the Diaspora Affairs and all those ministries because we want to make sure that the Ghanaian people are served. And that is what the government seeks to achieve. You may hear a lot of information and sometime on Facebook and all the places, but then because these days somebody can just sit anywhere and push any information that they like, it's difficult to really authenticate what is the right information. Right. So for instance, the Diaspora Affair is an opportunity for you to verify if you don't understand anything or if you want to find out what is actually going on. In addition to that, I know that so many of the people in this room have ideas and they want to go back to Ghana and help champion that idea. So whatever idea that you have, my ask to you, because I have to also give you an ask, you have to ask yourself, what is the purpose of my idea?
Yes.
Because you got to innovate with a purpose.
Exactly.
You got to understand where you are, where you want to go, and how you want to get there. So if you know where you are, and I'm talking about your current situation. So for instance, I want to go to Ghana and change the way we do appointments because I feel like the doctors, you can't even book an appointment to go to a hospital. That is, let's say, my idea. So I want to go there, and that is my plan. So the question is, do I have to go the private way and create this system and sell to the government, or have to give this idea to the government to develop it? That is a question I, as the innovator, has to ask myself. If I get clearly that, oh, maybe I can get a private support and do this without necessarily involving the government, because maybe if involving the government will be a lot of brokers, red tape, I have to go through it. So you got to ask yourself, why am I innovating? Why am I in this game? And where do I want to get to? If you are clear with your vision and really know where you want to get to, I can assure you that you will get support that you need, and people will help you all the way.
Thank you very much. And I think that's really important because many a times as just creative people, we just jump up with so much ideas. Our mind is so creative. We have so much things going on, and we don't really think about the back burner, about what does it take for this to push forward. And so we have to be intentional about what we're doing. It's one thing to say that we're picking up ourselves to go to Ghana and build and create business, but does it make sense? Is it going to build our nation? Is it going to actually employ young people within the nation? Or is it more something that will support us over here in sustaining us as a community, a Ghanaian community within the Canadian diaspora? So thank you, Brother Prince, for that. My next question is for the consulate. There is so many young people with accreditations, certificates, diplomas, PhDs. I mean, many of us have been in school for 25 years. I don't know. I mean, we could have bought a house and paid it off by now, but we decided to go to school, incurred debt, because I'm still paying for my OSAP, and we have not been able to see many of our young people within the Canadian diaspora employed in the government house. How do you, in your position at this point, see the bridging of allowing young people within the Canadian system to be able to speak on behalf of the Canadians because they have lived experience here?
Thank you, lady.
You're welcome.
It's a great question. To begin, I want to remind everybody here that this century is for Africa. It is because knowledge began in Africa,
yes,
went to Europe, to America, currently China. We want it to come back to Africa. Your country, Ghana, is always the beacon of all other African countries. We got independent, many other countries got independence. We were the pride of Africa several years back. And therefore, you, the youth of this century, you must make it happen. If it's going to be any change for a greater Ghana, it cannot come from those in the country currently. It can only come from you, because you know it. You have all that it takes. Many of you have done all this on your own. And therefore, we are always hoping that there will be some awakening. The skills that you have, there is no documentary evidence as to who is who. There are great gentes here in Canada. So we are thinking together with the GCO, if we can register Ghanaians, especially in their skill sets, then we know who is who. And therefore, when government is going to work, it has to work with information. It's very, very important. We supported Kofi Annan to become the UN General Secretary. If we didn't have any dossier on that man, we couldn't have supported him. So we need all of you. When it's a time for us to register Ghanaians in Toronto here, there should be no other argument about it. It is about your welfare. Somebody needs to know what you are, what you can do, and even your track record can tell so much about you. And these are the things that we think the youth, you have all the chance that we can do and make sure that you can actually make your contribution to Ghana. We depend on you, and we are still looking that you will turn Ghana. Thank you very much.
And so with that being said, Mr. Duedu, can you speak a little bit about how do young people within the Toronto sphere can actually get involved with the organization and government?
Right, and this is a fantastic question. You know, I just want to echo what the Consul General said. You know, if you look into the room now, and you will realize, or you notice about 70 or 60%, or maybe 70%, it's all about people under the age of 30. This room, now just do the survey or the math. You know, when we came here first, when you look at the Ghanaian demographics from the mid-80s up to this time, we came here when, you know, some of you who are on the stage now were little kids. Now you are qualified. You are leaders in our own right, in your own right. What that speaks to is that we have a potential. Every problem comes with a potential. And I think, like the Consul General said, we are in the process of trying to have a database. That database is going to be Ghanaians in Ontario or Canada for that matter. Whether someone is a plumber or is a technician, is a lawyer, is a doctor, you know, networking is a key over here. Even in Canada over here, Mr. Ashraku just said that he works for TD Bank. Who knows? Maybe someone is here who would like to work for the bank in his field. Until today, we never knew that he worked for TD Bank. Gabriel is in media. He does some work. Vivian is a nurse. So in this room, if we look at even the talent and the skill set, the people, what they have, Jude is a real estate, you know, consultant. If we have that huge database of talents in our community, it's amazing what we can do in terms of networking, trying to connect ourselves. When I came to this country first, you know, I've been working in in a company, in the financial institution for quite a long time. The first time I went there, I never knew that the people I was sitting with, they are families. This one, so this is my uncle. This, I never knew that. But they do, in Ghana, we used to say, who you know. Over here, they call it networking. That's what it is.
That's right.
So, you know,
Absolutely.
the Chinese will bring their brothers who are Chinese. The Indians will do the same thing. Ghanaians, what do? We are fragmented. So all of you in the room over here, I've always made this thing clear to all our people. There is no way we can move forward in our community if we don't unite,
Yes.
we don't get together,
Yes.
we don't see ourselves as brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
You know, and as leaders, all of you, you are leaders in your own right. Please, let's come together, especially to help our young people. You know, I see leaders all here. In about 10, 15 years from now, there are a lot of the old people who came here might have retired. So it's now upon you, the young people, to lead. And I know it's a huge opportunity.
Thank you.
So we will make progress. I'm very hopeful that we're on the march. And the millennials, all of you in this room, you will make it happen.
Thank you. So my next question is, right now we keep talking about the millennials, we keep moving about social media. My question is moving or directing to you, Brother Gabe. It's one thing to say that Ghana is developing, is growing, is moving forward. But how far are we in the technology sense, and how do we jump on it in really building our network? How do we really get across the globe? I mean, people in UK find it much easier to connect with people in Ghana versus us who are in North America, because we're so far away. Ticket is so expensive. People in UK, I think it's like 5 hours to get to Ghana. For us, it's 14 hours. And so how do we build that or bridge that gap with social media within the diaspora? Gabe.
Thank you for the question. I believe for the past 3-4 years, the government is doing a good job as far as social media is concerned. Our president actually has an Instagram page. Whether he's the one managing it or not, we don't know. He's on Twitter. You know, they have a website. He has his own personal website, the president's website. So they're trying as much as they can to use technology to connect with us. However, there's still room for improvements. You know, there should be like an email address that when you send someone an email, you should get a response right away, maybe within 30 minutes, to acknowledge that they've received your email. The reason why I say that is, for example, last year when I went to the Ghana Diaspora Homecoming in Ghana, there was a registration that we had to do where we all had to submit our information. And I was wondering why I haven't received any email confirming that I've registered to come to Ghana. And I wasn't going to leave Canada to go to Ghana without any confirmation that I'm on the program. And I was wondering, I kept asking questions, like who controls, you know, the database. And I realized they didn't have the capacity to do that at that time. But after we came back from the event, they've sent an email out to the people that registered, so I know that they do have our information. But as far as improving for us in Canada, it's true, we're not like the our friends in the UK where they can just go to Ghana for a weekend and come back. So for us, we have to use the social media as much as we can. Not just social media, but even emails, websites, phone calls, anything that we can do to get us in touch with Ghana and be easily accessible. I think that's what we have to focus on right now. So, like I said, it's good that some of the ministries have social media, like Ministry of Tourism is on Instagram. I believe Ghana Investment Promotion Center is there. The Diaspora Affairs Office is on Instagram. So you can reach out to those people through those platforms. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think it's really important that as business-minded individuals, one of the first things that we need to do is do our due diligence and create our own website, create our Instagram, and keep pushing our business ideas and our creativities. We shouldn't wait until somebody locates us or we've done the network to actually start our business or our ideas or taking it out there. We need to start self-promoting. We can't wait for the government to do that for us. We need to promote ourselves so that they can see that, oh, well, you know what? We've seen this person. They have X amount of followers. Let's see what this individual is really about, because this is where you know, business is moving towards. It's about how many people is following you, who knows you from who doesn't, and it's all about social media. And so as young people, if you do have some ideas that you have coming out, post it, share it, tweet it, Instagram it, Facebook it, and let people share it and let it go and get to our president in Ghana. And
Priscilla,
so,
1 second. And also just to add on to that, even if you don't have those people on your social media, you can always reach out to the GCAO. GCAO Canada is our Instagram page. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. You can email us. We also have a website. So you can reach out to us, and whatever it is, we can relay that message back to Ghana as well.
And Gabe is a website developer and designer. And so if anyone here is looking to actually start creating something on social media, please see Gabe, and he can actually set you up and create your website. I stand here as a business-minded person. I'm a social worker by profession. I work with young people who are on probation in the court system, and I can tell you the alarming numbers of youth, Ghanaian youth, that I'm working with is so high and so disheartening that, I mean, it's only so much that one person in that sector can do. But then I'm also an event planner and wedding planner. And so I'm using that talent, the giftings, and my passion of working with people in bringing happiness and joy into their lives as well. And so don't look at just what you're doing career-wise, but get creative and do something outside of your career as well that can also open up many, 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 many doors. And so my next question...
I wanted to add something
before
you go. So having brought that conversation, I have something that I want to leave with Nadia and my brother and our consulate. So we are talking about innovation here. And if we have to innovate and be able to succeed in this 21st century, then I think the way our government work has to change. Because, okay, we have 110 ministries, right, great. And this is the same ministries Kwame Nkrumah left us. So we are in the 21st century. We have a minister who is managing the project back and forth. Why don't we create like a governing architecture that is behind the ministries? And they are the ones in charge of analysis, making sure they understand what is going on in the system, and then refocus the purpose of the ministry to delivery. So for instance, I give you the Ministry of Health. If you change the way the Ministry of Health work in this way, so let the Minister for Health focus on delivery, making sure there are people in each hospital, making sure people who are looking for appointment are getting, making sure each hospital has ambulance. And then the project side, analyzing processes to make sure that each process at the hospital is working. There is a team somewhere, and that is their job that they are doing every day. So when they get the information, that is the information they push the minister to pay for to develop. Right? If we don't do that, and then we have Minister for Health building all hospitals in Ghana, at the same time has to make sure there is people at the hospital, how are we going to get this right? right? So we got to change and work as a 21st century people. And that means that you bring change to the place. Kwame Nkrumah created these ministries in how many years now? 61? Come on. And you are still using the same formula. Yeah. It won't work. So that is my message that I leave behind you while you go back to Ghana. We can talk, but this time I don't want a situation that we just talk for talk's sake.
Right.
We talk and we get it right.
I agree. I think this question, my next question will go to Jake or Nadia. We are moving from agricultural where people are no longer interested in farming. Me, myself, I don't know much about it because I was raised here. But what if a young person from here would like to come over there and do something in agriculture? How are you guys creating a platform for young people to understand what it works, who to talk to, how to plant, and all of these kind of things?
Okay, thank you very much. Agroforest business is now the big thing for our government. Why so? Because I can only imagine Ghana, a country like Ghana, getting pineapple from other countries. A country like Ghana getting oranges from other countries. So what our government is doing now is promoting a lot of agro investments, a whole lot. And under business development, they have a project, they have a greenhouse project that what they do is aim towards young Ghanaians who are very innovative. Like I said, a gentleman over there came, creative ideas that he wants to do. And what we do in our office is we connect you to the right ministry that we think will assist you. And then we make sure we monitor through that they just don't discourage you to go back. Because once you come to the office and you share that, and we know it's something that is going to help our government, we really, really support you. Even if it's not going to, why not? It's your own creativity, you're innovative, so let's see how we can do that. What our current government has done is, and it's never done before, as I sit here, I can confirm with you that President Nana Akufo-Addo has employed over 55 diasporans. 55 diasporans in a higher level of government positions. It has never been done. Why? Because he wants the system in Ghana change. And he believes that diasporans will be able to bring back what they have acquired to help Ghana move to the different level that we want it to be. And he continues to do that every day. You know, he goes to forums like this, he listens to you, he takes points. And I was telling Gisho yesterday, he writes things down and he works on them because he can't do it by himself. And he needs all of us to be able to assist him to make Ghana become where we want it to be. So, like you said, agroforest is big. We are looking into all other areas of how do we help use the whole area of Ghana. Now we have the One Village, One Dam, where irrigation farming is being promoted, that all year farming will also be, you know, booming very soon. So let's all be very creative and help Ghana.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Just last question. Please prepare yourself. If you have any questions, please stand up.
Please, I want
and
to
we'll
add,
get the mic to you right after this.
If we're going to talk about our Greek, we may not finish today. It's a very, very wide field. Please, we are in the tropics. We produce items that no other country can produce. And that is why we have the competitive advantage. And therefore, in our own studies in the universities here and there, the comparative advantage has always been well taught. And I believe in Canada here it is taught. And therefore, we are asking, how do you apply this to the situation in Ghana? Cocoa money has sent us to school all the years. We never thought about how can cocoa be processed. We left that product there like that up to today, 61 years after independence. We have a lot of things we are not processing. We have, how do you call it? The shea butter. Picked under trees. Yeah. Those who have never known where it is even obtained, the thing is picked under the trees there. We have never come out to have shea butter, the trees grown on a plantation basis. No, we haven't done that. All of us, we failed on that. So there is so much in our Greek, if you look at the chain, how to even preserve. Take a case of Canada. Canada, with all the winter, they never run short of food. They can preserve their food, they can process it, they can do so many things with it, and they have enough to run the whole of the year. What are we doing in Ghana? You hear about food shortage. Meanwhile, we produced and lost so much of that production. So there is something that you know here in Canada that you can bring on board in the field of agric. I'm not asking you to go and take a cutlass and be weeding the grass in Ghana to get agric moving. You have knowledge enough to power the system to get to where we want to get. Not that you are not aware, you are really aware as to where we can get. And there are so many things in the area of agric where we have a great advantage over many other countries, and they will always buy from us. If anybody tell you there will be any synthetic cocoa, it's a lie. We shall always have natural cocoa. And it is left to us, you and I, to make sure that that industry is developed for our advancement. If we are going to do anything, we are looking for you that we can change things in the agricultural field. There are other resources that we can talk about. But the case of agric, I believe those of you in the diaspora must have better ideas than we have at home. And we still believe in you that you can deliver on that score. Thank you.
I think right now, Jake will say something.
Yeah, so this agriculture issue is very, very important to me, because I think we have a warped, especially young people now, we have a warped perception of agriculture. The agribusiness is so big, and I know so many people that are doing amazingly well just tackling different aspects of it. Right. Like someone supplies fertilizer. That in and of itself is a big business. You don't need to know how to weed to do that. You know, someone is building irrigation systems. That is another big area. You don't need to know how that is going to play out. You can have people on the ground who have that expertise, but there are so many aspects to it, and I think we are very quick to rule ourselves out of it and be like, oh, no, I know nothing about farming. But you don't necessarily need to know anything about farming. But if you maybe study engineering or physics or something, you know how things work, you may be able to be in agribusiness for all you know. So I think sometimes we should really look at things on a more macro scale and think about how we can fit ourselves in our expertise and our research skills. Like, this one thing that I find really amazing about the kind of education we are getting now is that we are being taught to have skills. Yeah. And with skills are transferable. So if you know how to research, you know everything, potentially. Just get the right books, get the right information, and you're almost there. So let's try not to automatically rule ourselves out of things because maybe we don't have lived experience of it, or we don't necessarily have the educational qualifications that say agriculture. Yeah. You know.
There is time later on for networking where you can speak directly to the individuals. Thank you.